in other parts of the state.
This is the time.
I know. Look, I've lived here my whole life, and I do remember days. Like I remember specific days where we've had a wild shift in temperature.
Yeah.
But I now there's so many happening so often that I don't feel like I'm going to remember these. Like I remember one from the 1990s. I was at UIC as a grad student.
Okay.
And it was a beautiful warm day out, and you were a child at the time. But there was a building collapsed by how quickly the weather changed in the course of a day. There was a point where everything looked green outside.
New anxiety unlocked. Right now.
A building collapsed. and because when you have the heat and the cold, the expansion and contraction of materials.
I am calling my therapist as soon as
Adams can't handle this. But now it's yes. Oh, so how about sinkholes? Are sinkholes not a problem for you in Chicago?
They scare me to death.
Yeah, so buildings collapsing and sinkholes. I should not tell you about sinkholes then, never mind.
No, I know a lot about sinkholes.
There were sinkholes in the 90s in Chicago.
So
not a lot. Sorry,
I've
folks.
actually gone through a whole YouTube rabbit hole of sinkholes and the people that have died in them and have not been found. And I'm a chronic worrier. And once there's a show called 911. That's a great show. And they throw everything. And they had a whole episode on a sinkhole in a garage that almost destroyed the whole city of Los Angeles. And I was like, I need to learn more about the sinkholes.
So at the Tribune Tower, so Wacker, there's Lower Wacker, all those, there's basically five, I don't know how many rings of hell Dante has, but Lower Wacker has
Lower
more.
Wacker is the fifth.
Wait, but there's more than one Lower Wacker. There's levels below that. I didn't know that when I was working.
Wait, what?
Oh, there's at least 3 or 4 levels below lower. Oh, there's more levels. And so the parking lot at Tribune Tower, there was a cone that somebody placed sort of in a hole. And by the time it was done, there was only a cone that's 2.5 feet high. There was just the tip of the cone left. And I'm like, how are we still driving around this parking lot that clearly does not have the support of anything below it?
Why is this happening?
Why are we all just at one spot in the parking lot? I'm sure the rest of the parking lot's fine.
No, because it's how we are. We don't like to be inconvenienced.
Because there was a point where Montrose Avenue just collapsed. Years ago,
I do remember that.
Is it? I don't understand. The city is built on swampland.
It is. Thank you, cow. I blame the cow for this.
Yes, Mrs. O'Leary did not. Manage that cow well.
But every winter,
yes,
there is always one day when that wind chill will hit me and I'll go, I'm Team Cow today. I get it.
Burn it all down.
Burn it to the ground. I get it. I'm Team Cow.
There was a point where Lakeshore Drive, there was some metal, something buckled, and everyone's and I think they came out and spot welded it, and we're still driving on Lakeshore Drive. I don't know.
What I love about the way we fix things is we will do the bare minimum, announce it, and everyone goes, Okay,
sure.
Let's do it.
There are viaducts in this city.
Doesn't seem right.
Yeah, but like you, I have my moments of well, this would be bad if this fell.
Yes.
Right. So if I'm trapped on a bridge in Chicago, downtown Chicago, over the river.
Yes.
Especially when the boys were little, I would always roll all my windows down so that I could get out of a window.
No, but wouldn't your car sink faster if the windows?
It might, but I'm ready with my seatbelt. I used to take my seatbelt off, ready to get the kid and get out the window. Yeah, your car might sink faster.
I think it would.
But you can't also. I don't know. It depends on whether or not you can open your window.
Well, that's what the headrest is for, to take it off and smash the. Yeah.
I had one of those tools.
See, I know these things.
I had one of those tools that was both a seatbelt cutter and a window puncture. So you just, basically cut your seatbelt and then puncture the window. You're supposed to. Yeah, I've done that. I have those tools.
Well, this segment has been brought to you by Lorazepam, because you'll need it.
but what I'm saying, the weather is intensifying.
It is.
I've never seen that movie with Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal where I've never seen that where there's a tipping point.
Yeah, the end of the world.
Yes, the weather accelerates.
It's
the day
2012 or the day after.
Yeah.
There was a period where there was a bunch of movies based on the same exact thing.
Well, there were two about there was Armageddon and the ones about the meteors.
There was Armageddon and
Yeah, what was the one with Morgan Freeman played as a president? Didn't he?
Asteroid? No.
Something like that.
I don't remember.
Collision. I don't know. But there were 2 asteroid movies.
Oh, so
Tia Leone was one. Deep Impact.
Deep Impact. Yes, we did it.
We got there.
Bing,
everybody.
bing, bing,
People
bing,
are
bing.
screaming at their radios right now.
Deep Impact. We got it.
You yelling at your radios, by the way, just so you know. You got
Thank you. We felt it.
that
Deep
energy.
Impact.
He said deep. I said impact. That could
It's
be
like,
a
I
different show
know
altogether.
this.
Yeah.
No, that's right. But no, I remember the end of the world thing with the. But I recently saw a movie on Netflix called Don't Look Up. And it
Meryl
was
Streep and Leonardo DiCaprio,
it was
that feels-
hilarious because I feel like that is the world we live in, where all this crap is happening and Ariana Grande has a song out and no one cares.
Yeah.
Just don't look up.
I mean, when you have Marco Rubio saying if Iran spent money on its people instead of war, that the country would be better off, and you're like, could you erase the word Iran and say United States?
Yes.
Because in Iran they have access to healthcare and
Yes.
education. And to your point about don't look up, it's like the people who are so deeply dumb and like willfully.
Yep.
Unwilling to be curious or intellectually engaged in what's happening.
The vessels.
Oh my God.
The vessels. I think a lot of Trump supporters are vessels. They're empty vessels. They are filled with nothing until Trump fills them up with something, and then they know everything.
Yes.
But they know nothing. Because Trump knows nothing.
Well,
so it's ridiculous.
I was thinking about this the other day because we have one texter who like creates new phone numbers every time because they can generate them.
Good for him.
And the only thing they ever text about is when I say that ICE is deeply dumb and untrained, unqualified people to be hunting people. You know, they're violating civil rights and human rights and all those things. And that's the only thing they text about.
And when they were in high school, they were the losers that nobody wanted to hang out with.
1,000%.
I said it.
Yeah, I can smell them from here.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, for so long, people have been single issue voters, right? Whether it's abortion, they were single issue, and they got that, right?
Yeah.
But then you have to make them angry about something else. So it had to be, they were afraid of, we're going to take all your guns, even though no matter who was in office, because Barack Obama's going to take all your guns.
Nobody.
And more guns.
Nobody.
There are more guns.
Nobody's going to take your guns.
Nobody took your guns. And by the way, I don't know if you follow Rob Held. He's an attorney that's been on the show. He's been doing a lot of the protests and documenting a lot of it. He has a video out, like, because he's an Air Force veteran. And this guy, he's got, like, military-style rifles behind him, and he's got a loaded gun. He's like, break down my door.
Well,
he's got a gun.
I've always... something my grandfather always said is, regardless of how many guns you have, when someone is coming to you and you ask the question, you in what army, and they say America, you can't really win. So I get to a place where I am a very big proponent for gun ownership. I'm a gun owner. I believe in responsible gun ownership. But I'm also aware that I cannot take on the government. So why do you have so many guns exactly?
Yeah.
Like, what are you stockpiling for exactly?
The leftists, the Democrats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, are you trying to have your own kingdom out of your parcel number? Like, what are you trying? What is your goal? Let's talk about that.
Although it was the government that came for Alex Preddy's gun, and he was a legal firearm owner.
Well, and that's, I think we were talking before the show about consistency, and one of my biggest issues with a lot on the right, sometimes on the left, but a lot on the right, is they're not consistent, because that was the perfect issue for gun rights advocates to say this is a bridge too far, but they didn't.
Nope.
None of them did. That was the argument.
It was, and there it goes. So these are the single issues that previously just conservatives voted for: abortion, gun ownership, right? Then it became, this generated manufactured like hysteria over bathrooms. Like, it was not, there was no legal issue of anybody. If anything, it was men like trying to like get a little hot and heavy with men installs. Remember the wide stance in a men's bathroom at an airport? I don't know if you might be too young for
With
this.
the tap, tap, tap.
Yes.
I watched the news, the tap,
yeah,
tap,
but that was like
tap.
15 years ago, right?
I've always watched the news.
Fair enough.
Now, with that said, I was like 8 or 9, and I did not understand what the tap, tap, tap was or why people were being arrested for it. But I get it now. Totally.
So that was, if anything, we were in more danger of, men coming into a women's bathroom, locking the door behind them, and like the single, but like not in public bathrooms.
No one is in danger. No, and once again, studies have proven that in the countries, a lot of countries in Europe have had unisex bathrooms for decades. The incident of sex abuse, rape, sexual assault goes down drastically if criminals, bad people, believe that there are men in the bathroom with the women. Why that is, I can hypothesize, but just looking at the studies, it goes down.
Yep.
So what is the problem? What are you doing in there?
It's just
what are you doing?
There's so much to talk about.
There is. Sorry.
All right, no. Let's continue because there's something that came out about Kristi Noem's husband today, which we have. I mean, how do we not? So let's take a break here. Thank all of our sponsors: Pride Coffee Roasters,
Consistency,
Source Solar, Anderson's Candy Shop. Are you really winning? Because March is Gambling Awareness Month. Minocqua Brewing Company. We'll talk more about all our sponsors in just a moment. We're in studio with guest co-host Ken Mejia-Beal. The number is 773-763-9278 if you want to call and join our conversation. And yes, people were yelling at their radios. I can tell right now. Deep Impact and The Day After Tomorrow was the Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal movie. And we'll talk more about this on WCPT 820. Oh, they made another number. The 708 made another number.
No.
You want to talk, Alex Preddy? Ask me to call in, you hack. Okay.
Then call in.
More after this.
Bring it.
Tom Hartman.
Autocrats generally, particularly those autocrats who have narcissistic personality disorder and are sociopaths, as is, in my opinion, Trump, typically do not tolerate high-profile people around them. They want to be the star of the show, and that's certainly been the history of Donald Trump. The only people that he will tolerate around him are people who, when he says, kiss my ass, they fall to their knees.
The Tom Hartman Radio Program. Weekdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
In Will and DuPage County, contact Paul Fazio at FazioInsurance.com or 815-727-2611.
I've tried everything to stand out at work. Donuts, a company coffee blend, even dressed as the company mascot for Halloween.
There's an easier way, a ComEd facility assessment. Their engineer gave my company free insights and actions that saved us $732,000 on energy. Easy, right?
Learn how ComEd can help you save at ComEd.com/facility assessment. ComEd, powering lives. Savings will vary based on customers' usage and rate.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation. Joining me in studio is guest co-host Ken Mejia-Beal.
Hello.
And we have a listener who said, you want to talk... Oh, here, Patty, I'm glad you called out the single-issue voter. It was always a lie. I always thought it was nonsense, too, but it's so apparent now we can address it with substance. It's been about hate, and that's what the Republican Party gives them. That is the single issue, if any. Yeah, they always have to find somebody to hate. I mean, you can tell by the 708... the lines are not busy. So the lines are busy. Keep whining. What do they say? Cry harder, 708-900. I shouldn't taunt too much because they do generate... we've had a detective on this case. So we do have to monitor because this person in the 708-900 also gave a veiled threat to my son about my son. So about Declan, like how would you like it? We talked about unmasking ICE. And
we did. Excuse me. Talk about this.
So no, go ahead and call. We would love to. That's why they're not calling.
Well,
they're saying, I can see the lines right now are not busy.
People love to. This is what I hate about social media. People love to hide behind keyboards.
Yep.
And just say whatever they want. This is horrible. I do not recommend, so do not do this, but I was going back and forth with this loser, and I won't say his name, Jeff. And anyway, I finally said, this is my address. Pull up.
Yeah.
Pull up, baby. Pull up. I'm still waiting.
If we make sure whatever numbers come up on a call that seem as though we might need to keep track of that, we can do that. Just so you know, we have caller ID.
Yes. Everything is tracked.
Hey, Jim, what's on your mind, my friend? You're on with me and Ken Mejia-Beal.
Hi, how are you, kid, Patty? First, let's start with the judge denies Trump to build the ballroom. They came to the grand conclusion. He's just the steward of the building. He isn't the owner of the building. Duh. You know what I mean? He has to go to a judge to find that out. Right. Then it was the Supreme Court's talking about people that transition from one sex to the other, which is a small percentage of the United States. And why they would take a case like that, they have no medical degrees, unless the law degree is a medical degree. I wouldn't go to a lawyer to get my gallbladder out. That's for certain.
Good for you.
The other thing is, yeah. I mean, but this monstrosity rolls on. It's just insane. But why does the Supreme Court pick these cases? That's the one that really bothers me. They pick the strangest cases, like the citizen case. Now the Republicans are claiming the Chinese, the wealthy Chinese, are flying their ladies in here to have their baby here. Then when they're 18, they come back as an American citizen, which is insane. It's totally insane. But is the Supreme Court really going to use that as a criteria that's something that's been around since the beginning of the country? I mean, this is so bizarre. It's so bizarre. But anyway, he can't. The ballroom was going down in flames because, plus wasn't he building some kind of a military installation in there too under the ballroom? Maybe he really had some big plans for it. I don't know how long he's going to live, but apparently when he starts a nuclear war, he can run right down the stairs, I guess, and save his life. I mean, that must be the only thing I can think of. What do you guys think? Why do you think he's building
I think he's building a bunker. I think that he, as much as people want to say that this isn't like the Nazi regime where they had to build a bunker under a ballroom. Just saying.
Right. Yeah, well, he built it. It was extravagant for Hitler. That was extravagant. And my God, everybody in that bunker blew their brains out. They took cyanide. 11 took cyanide. Goebbels took his whole family took cyanide. But this group is just beyond reason. I mean, why would the court take these cases? I don't understand. You don't understand, Patty? I mean, it has to be. They have to have a political motive behind this. And why would they? Another thing that bothers me, they said this was a George Bush appointed judge who said stop the ballroom. Well, I'm so sick of hearing that. I don't care who appointed the judge. Do you care? Were you going to a courtroom, Patty? I've been in front of a few judges. I don't ask who appointed them. But I mean, I never asked a judge who appointed them. I had a friend, a couple of judges who were friends. One was a neighbor up in the country, and I had one that was down at the Justice Department downtown. I was out with them for lunch and drinks, and I never asked them who appointed them or how the hell they got there or anything else.
How do we know that? Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are we up to here? I mean, how long is this going to continue? That's the thing that bothers me. But anyway, you guys have a good show. Thank you very much, Billy and Ken. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, Jim. Let's get to. We were talking about the bridges over the. We were talking about the bridges over the Chicago River. Let's get to Ron in Chicago. Ron, what's on your mind?
Yeah, back in 1991, a construction company punctured a wall underneath the Chicago River in downtown Chicago. Got flooded. Do you remember that one?
Back in when the river flooded or the tunnels flooded? I'm sorry, what were you saying?
The tunnel flooded in.
So that would be before your time. That would have been Ken.
I was
that would
alive.
be 1990, I believe, was when the
1991. Yeah.
1991. I was on my way back from college when the tunnel started flooding.
I was in first grade.
Okay.
Yeah, there used to be a tunnel. There was a tunnel system underneath downtown Chicago to give the stores coal when they used coal, and that was a big mess. And also the West Palm Beach airport in Florida is now going to be called Trump Airport.
That's the one. My husband was trying to remember which airport agreed to rename so that they would continue to get funding. No one loves being stroked more than this guy and others. I don't know what other cucumber owners.
But that's what happens when you have low self-esteem and a huge ego. You need it. You need it.
All right.
Yep. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Ken. Okay, so I do want to go back to the single issue voter we were talking about.
I thought we were going to Christy Nome. There's so much happening right now.
That kind of dovetails, tail off of the idea of bathrooms and men and women's sports and drag, because drag brunches became something that people were unhinged about.
Yes, it's crazy.
So Christy Nome, apparently, according to the Daily Mail, has released an article today about Christy Nome's husband enjoying. I never heard of bimbofication, which is apparently a kink, and I don't yuck anyone's yum.
Neither.
Yum away is all I'm saying. Just don't. The thing is that
then don't yuck my yum.
That's what I'm saying. They're
don't yuck mine.
Everywhere. They're so yucky.
Right.
I mean, we already know that. I mean, as much as I don't get into these conversations about when Grindr crashes, and yet I do follow the stories about when Grindr crashes.
It always crashes at CPAC.
And
always. And I want to say this: when the DNC was here in Chicago, I can tell you, God, I sound horrible. Grindr did not crash; it worked perfectly fine.
I mean,
it worked perfectly fine. We didn't overload the system. I'm turning red right now. But my point is, Grindr clearly has a great system that somehow, when you get a group of Republicans and right-leaning people together, they crash it. And I unless I'm going to try to explain it, it's a huge system. It is massive. Grindr can fit up to the feet thousands of people, like thousands. Like that one is 2 feet away. That one's 500. Like it's a good system. What are they doing to crash it all the time?
Well, because everyone has to be in close proximity, right?
That is what's crashing it.
I'm just saying.
They're all in one place.
It's an overload. It's a system overload. It's maximum density.
Yes.
Yeah. For folks who don't know what Grindr is, it is a hookup app for people who perhaps enjoy
the company of a man.
I do.
I'm being polite. This is a daytime program. They enjoy the company of men. Men who enjoy the company of other men.
Before we go to the break, is it appropriate or inappropriate for me to laugh about Lindsey Graham having a bubble fairy wand at Disney World and then immediately having to prove how masculine he is to go to Edgefield, South Carolina with a rifle?
Listen.
I'll show you my gun.
You know, Lindsay, she is the moment. She is the diva. She is the senator.
I mean, come on now.
She is something special.
And then he tried to come. Okay, and then for folks who don't know, Lady Lindsay was in. So TMZ put out a bulletin and said, if you see anybody from Congress on vacation, send us the photos. And Lady Lindsay walked right into it. She's at breakfast
with a wand.
But she's at breakfast with Disney characters. She's holding a fairy wand,
her best,
a pink wand, and then she tries to say that she was holding it for a girl in the bathroom. Doesn't make it better.
No one ever came back out of the bathroom. No one came back. You know, I just think, and here's the thing, if they would just own it, we wouldn't be talking about it. Because I promise you, if Pete Buttigieg came out, was at Disney World with a pink wand, and he's like, yep, it's my wand. Yeah. We would move on.
You know how badass Barack Obama would be with he'd be like, for his daughters. Like, I'm
bopping everybody.
Yeah, he'd be blowing bubbles everywhere.
But
skipping.
It's there. The men on the right are so toxically masculine. That's why they stand like centaurs. Because they don't even flow.
If you know what that means,
weird.
chest out, butt out.
Yes, it's a weird, like, I'm a man. That's how they stand, and I don't know where that voice came from. But they are so rigid.
Yes.
And they have these small minds of what things are supposed to be. Lindsay would be happier if Lindsay would live in Lindsay's truth. And I think we all know what Lindsay's truth is, allegedly. Because I will not be sued.
I'm just saying, because we all should live in our truth.
We all should.
Let's take a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk to a candidate for office, Julie Fortier, candidate for Congress in Illinois' 12th district, in a moment on WCPT with my guest co-host, Ken Mejia-Beal. We'll be right back in just a second. Let me do this.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low temperature of 37 degrees and northeast winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. On Wednesday, we'll see a chance of showers with a high temperature of 46 degrees and winds out of the northeast at 15 to 30. Thursday, scattered showers and storms with a high temperature of 74 and gusty south winds up to 40 miles an hour. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 47.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter. Tom Hartman.
Autocrats generally, particularly those autocrats who have narcissistic personality disorder and are sociopaths, as is, in my opinion, Trump, typically do not tolerate high-profile people around them. They want to be the star of the show, and that's certainly been the history of Donald Trump. The only people that he will tolerate around him are people who, when he says, kiss my ass, they fall to their knees.
The Tom Hartman Radio Program, weekdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're an experienced homeowner who's outlived your assets or your spouse recently passed away, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local reverse mortgage lender. Alice, 90, widow, income $24,000 a year, living in a $500,000 home with no mortgage. Alice's husband recently passed away and she was terrified about losing her home, so her daughter called for information about a reverse mortgage. We helped Alice secure a reverse mortgage which allowed her to access $300,000 tax-free dollars so she could afford in-home health care. Let's review. Alice's husband recently passed away. She outlived her assets and thought she had to sell her home. Our reverse mortgage expert, Jose Rodriguez, helped Alice secure a reverse mortgage so she can afford in-home health care and peacefully age in place. Team Hochberg's helped thousands of radio listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit that website you know and love, 56david.com. Atlantic Coast Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 643114.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
All right, listeners, if you're going to buy Easter candy this year, listen up. You've got to get marshmallow eggs from Anderson's Candy Shop. These are seriously the best Easter chocolates you will find. Each marshmallow egg is handmade, light and fluffy, and dipped in Anderson's rich, thick chocolate. They are sweet, creamy, chocolate-covered miracles, and beyond that, they are made by some of the nicest people you will ever meet. Anderson's Candy Shop has locations in Richmond, Illinois, by the state line, and downtown Barrington. They're open 7 days a week and 24/7 online at andersonscandyshop.com. Plus, Anderson's makes 9 flavors of cream-filled eggs, including peanut butter cream, maple nut, and marzipan. Oh, and crispy rice nests and chocolate bunnies, too. But don't take my word for it. Visit Anderson's today and sample for yourself. Plus, when you check out, mention code PATTYV. That's PATTYV. I know how my name is spelled, but I forgot to correct them. So it's PATTYV online and get $5 off your order. You can use that online. When you're in the store, you don't have to spell it. Just say Patty V. That's Anderson's Candy Shop and andersonscandyshop.com. Code Patty V for a discount, because for the best marshmallow eggs and Easter candy, nothing beats these treats. I didn't correct them. That's all. It happened.
It happens.
It happens. We are so excited. You know, we just finished our primaries not too long ago, and here's the thing: there are some folks who are off and running, whether they were part of the primary or were already the candidate that's going to be on the ballot in November. And joining us right now is candidate for the congressional 12th district in Illinois, out of Illinois, Julie Fortier. Julie, how are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on this evening.
Our pleasure. You're on with Ken Mejia-Beal as well.
Hello.
For folks who aren't familiar with your district, tell us a little bit about that area of Illinois.
We have the most southern region of Illinois. We are over 14,000 square miles. Like every district in the state of Illinois, it's about 750,000 people. We have about 31,000 farmers, 18,000 farms, and that takes up about 10,000 square miles. So we have a big farm district, but we have everybody in our district. We have professionals, we have laborers, we even have coal miners. So we have a diverse mix.
And tell us a little bit about your background. So did you grow up in the area? Is that your home territory?
I actually did not. I actually grew up primarily in Colorado, but then I graduated high school near Cincinnati, and I joined the Air Force because I was broke and could not afford college. So I spent 4 years in the Air Force, and then my last 2 years I was stationed at Scott Air Force Base, which is right down the road from where I live now, and that's where I ended up staying. And I finished my undergrad at McKendree College, which is now called McKendree University. It's in Lebanon, Illinois. And then I did about 5 years working industry in biomedical sciences, and then I went on to get my PhD at St. Louis University in biomedical sciences. And then I followed on with a postdoc at Washington University.
And so amazing. We need more. We need more scientists.
That's a lot.
Yes, thank you. So tell folks, like, what inspired you? What made you decide to take this leap into running for office?
Well, I've always been politically aware. I can't say I've always been politically active. And with the first Trump administration, like a lot of us, we became, I guess, incensed is a good word. And then as he became elected for the second term and the big, beautiful bill came up, I actually had called Boss' office to tell him that it was not good for our district. And he sent me a form letter. And I know it's a form letter because I know somebody got the exact same letter when she complained about the big, beautiful bill. And so I decided to get involved and get more involved. And I kept telling people that if we are passive, then we are complicit in the destruction of our democracy. And I didn't think I was doing enough. And I found a Democrat group that had some good speakers one day, and I asked who was up against Boss, and they said nobody. And somebody asked me what I was doing, and I was like, I know I can do the job. That's not the problem. So I don't want him to run unopposed. And I'm ready to take on the task.
Have you gotten any phone calls of support from any other fellow Congress folks, the party itself?
I've spoken to Badinsky out of the 15, who is, the 13, who is directly north of me. Mm-hmm. Her and I have spoken a few times. I've met her, and she's amazing. As far as like the party for Illinois, yes. I've gotten some support. I haven't gotten a lot of monetary support. part of the problem is I have never run for office before. And it's perfectly understandable. You want to throw money at the more sure thought, the more sure. It's like putting money after a horse, right? You're not going to choose a horse that's never run a race before until you've seen them run.
Well, but
So-
that's also their responsibility to have, I would think, to have prepped a candidate, to be involved with someone who's willing to take the challenge of running against an incumbent conservative GOP member. That's just my own.
Absolutely.
It's my opinion as well.
I totally understand that,
Yeah.
but I mean, and they've definitely reached out to me. They're definitely
Okay,
in support.
good,
In fact,
good.
I have a phone call I have to make after this.
Oh, okay. So
in support from somebody from. They've reached out. They've been.
Okay.
Good.
And you also have to understand the primary was just last week, so I was unopposed. So obviously, I already knew I was going to be on the general. I am not taking corporate PAC money or AIPAC money, so money I will admit is tight.
Congratulations.
We love that.
I have to admit, I understand why people do, because to run a campaign is expensive.
Very.
But I can't give up my morals to do it. I just can't.
Well,
Good for you.
Since we're on it, tell folks your website
Yeah.
or how they can contribute to your campaign, because we want every seat. We don't care if it's in Illinois and people feel safe with a blue like a blue state.
Yeah.
Not every district. So go ahead and tell folks how they can support your campaign.
The easiest way to support my campaign is to go to juliefortier.com. And that is actually my webpage, so you can see what I'm about. But there's also a donation button on there, and that will take you to Act Blue, which is a Democrat method by which you can donate. And that would be amazing. We would love to be able to reach more people. Right now, I will be holding a town hall in every district. We're inviting Bost, who is the incumbent, to come to every town hall, and I have offered to debate him at every town hall I'm doing. So every county I have 34 counties. And so I would like to meet him at least in one to debate. And I think people in this district have a right to speak to him. And he hasn't held any in-person town halls as long as I know he had one, I think, last year, but it was kind of screened.
Yeah, that's what someone messaged me is that so you would not have screened town halls, obviously.
I want everybody there.
The way it
Everybody
should
should be
be.
welcome
Yeah.
to a town hall. And I tell people this within my district. I said, you feel free to go to a different district even and go to their town halls, because everybody who is a representative or a senator, they're making laws that affect everybody in the country. And you have a right to get their opinions. You may not have their vote for or against them, but you still have a right to hear what they have to say.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of eyes on what's happening with flipping seats and getting into Congress and what people will do once they're there. So when the Dems take the House and Senate, will you pursue indictments of Trump's administration and the officials there?
Absolutely. I think it's mandatory. I think right now, for whatever reason, I've heard different rumors as to why the GOP is not, why they're bowing down. And I've heard different rumors as to why. But I think Congress is supposed to be one of the third equal parts. And I think the biggest issue with this particular Congress is that they haven't done the checks and balances they have needed against the executive branch.
I agree.
And to be honest, and against the judicial branch. So, you know, that is also a possibility for impeachment. I don't want everybody in Congress to always think the same way. But right now, obviously, everybody is bowing down to one person, and that's not how our democratic republic, however anybody wants to, it's not supposed to work that way.
No, not at all.
No.
By the way, it's your website, I believe, is juliefortier.com, correct? It's .org. Yeah. Folks are trying it right now.
It's both.
It's both. juliefortier.org. JULIEF as in Frank ORTIER.org. And her Instagram is Julie Fortier 2026. TikTok is Julie Fortier for Congress. I think if you follow, by the way, 312 says, your guest sounds amazing and is the right type of person that should be running for office. Fantastic.
Yes, I'm just reading that too.
Exactly. We got all kinds.
They might work for me.
No, you
I don't think so.
You know what's funny is that you might think that, but there are no. There's more than one person texting it. If you think it's your people from your campaign, there are other people texting it. So, do you support taxing millionaires, billionaires, and mega cap corporations so the SSA won't become insolvent? Social Security Act. Yes.
I'm not sure why we're not. I don't understand how people think a government is not going to be. A government cannot run without funds, and that means everybody needs to do their part. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we have given corporations and given billionaires all these tax breaks, money. It was proven when Reagan was president. It does not roll downhill.
Nope.
It just doesn't.
Never does.
Nope.
You know?
And do you have a plan to save the Affordable Care Act and Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP?
We have to, because right now, I know financially to do Medicare for all is not necessarily feasible. It's definitely something to work for. The easiest way right now to supply, and I need to speak to some other Congress people who have some ideas, because I am one person, but I'm definitely willing to hear of different ideas and see which directions they want to go. But I think if we reinstitute the ACA and do the tax penalty for people who don't join, which was Trump disbanded in 2018. The problem is that then it couldn't afford to work as an insurance company. So until we can get prices down and prices regulated.
Perfect.
Your dogs are cheering you on. Go on, Julie.
I apologize. I actually had them inside for a reason. But until we can get prices down and prices at a manageable level, right now the United States pays $14,750 per person in medical fees.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at some other countries, they're paying around $7,500 to about $9,000 per person. And I know that sounds still like a lot, but it's actually more manageable. So until we can get prices down, until we can stop price gouging, until we can a lot of things right now, if you look at, for instance, people that regulate the price of drugs and people that happen to regulate the private insurance companies and people that regulate the drug manufacturing and the, I guess it's with the PMBs, they actually are all answering to board members. And a lot of times they're related and they still have to answer to each other. And we got to get those out of pocket. We have to get, Congress should have no stocks whatsoever when it comes to any of these industries. Actually, they shouldn't own any private stocks
There
at
you
all.
go. Thank you.
I actually don't think it should be limited to Congress. I think it should be limited to all cabinet members and all executive and judiciary branches as well.
So here's what I want to do. I know that, so we're on kind of a weird schedule today. I want to have you back on. I want to do 2 segments because I know that, first of all, before we let you go, one listener wants to know if lawn signs will be available soon. They want a lawn sign for you.
Will be? Oh, I have lawn signs.
Yes.
Excellent. Lawn signs are available.
This is a huge district, but I will also say it's still early. So if they haven't seen me, pay attention to my schedule. We will be having town halls throughout the entire district. I will be bringing lawn signs to those areas where I'm having town halls, so you still have a chance to get one.
Well, for the folks that are texting in, I will have Julie Fortier back on the show because we are going to be focusing on her race, on the District 12 race, as well as the race that Paul Nolly is running against Congressman LaHood.
Yeah.
These are the races we'll be focusing on going into November. So no sweat. Anytime you need to be on, or else we'll just have you on. We'll just surprise you.
There you go.
Thank you, Julie.
Surprise!
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. JulieFortier.com, everybody. That's FORTIER.com. .org. JulieFortier.org. Have a great night, Julie.
You'll find it'll go to both.
Exactly. Thank you so much, my friend. Have a great night.
Posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards.
Thank you.
Staples has all the print to boost your brand.
Oh, apparently I hit the
Shop
commercials.
now in
We'll be
store
right back.
and online. Staples. That was easy.
This is a WCPT Moment in Labor. In 2011, 6 Jimmy John's employees in Minneapolis were fired by their franchise-owning company, Mickey Lynn Enterprises, after fighting for paid sick days. This is a common theme in the union-free world of fast food. Over 13 million Americans work in the fast food industry, making an average of $13,500 a year, not even half the average cost of living. 80% of fast food workers have experienced work-related injuries, and only 13% were covered by their employer. A group of employees referred to as the Jimmy John's Six fought for these rights, creating an online campaign, posting a picture of 2 sandwiches saying one of these was made by a healthy employee, the other was made by a sick employee. Can you tell the difference? Too bad, as Jimmy John's workers do not get paid sick days. Help workers win sick days. More than 32 million Americans work a job that does not offer paid sick days. This has been a WCPT Moment in Labor. We're working for your rights.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
No distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home. Joining me in studio's guest co-host Ken Mejia-Beal. And joining us in studio, you know, I've had the pleasure of working with Are You Really Winning and the Way Back In for over a year now. Anita Pindiur is the executive director of Way Back In, and we're talking about Are You Really Winning? It is March is Gambling Awareness Month, and joining us in studio is also Elizabeth Thielen. Am I saying your name correctly? Is it Thielen or Thielen? Thielen. Because I bet you people guess all the time. And I should have just committed. Senior Director at Nicasa Behavioral Health Services in Lake County, Illinois, with over 20 years of experience in addictions fields. So this is something that we've talked a lot about on the show, is that my father was he was an addict all around. My father started smoking when he was 12, started drinking probably around the same age, had a lifetime of abuse, whether it was alcohol, smoking, and then when he quit drinking, it was gambling. So, that's kind of the way the brain works for some folks, is that once you become addicted to the pleasure centers, right, it becomes difficult to separate that, isn't it?
That's right. And when somebody puts one thing down, sometimes they pick something else up, and it can be something like gambling, especially when we're not aware of the risks that are involved.
Yeah, because because it's also cultural. Anita and I have talked about this a lot. Do you have a lot of family history with like gambling and like something that was a sort of seemed innocuous and
gambling? And I was a 2-pack-a-day cigarette smoker, and I quit, and I became addicted to chocolate, and I gained about 112 pounds in a year and a half. So I get it. I get it.
And I think that people feel weak rather than understanding the chemistry of their bodies, right?
Right, and that's even more prominent with gamblers because it's not something we talk about. We understand other addictions as like a brain disease, right? But with gambling, we think it's all about you just should know better, you're weak-willed, you should just stop because they think it's not a substance, so your brain's not involved. Your brain is absolutely involved, and your brain is experiencing it much like a stimulant.
Yeah, and it's a little bit like social media because there's the punishment is also a reaction. Your brain goes, oh, that's something. It gives you something to sort of chase then.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And with gambling, when people lose, they're often chasing those losses and to try to win them back. And something really interesting about our brains is we get stimulated by thinking about winning or anticipating winning. So we could lose our rent. We still got that reinforcement in our brain. So when somebody goes, why can't I stop? That's one of the reasons why. Because your brain is, really reinforced by just anticipating winning, even if you lost horribly.
I don't think we appreciate how powerful our brains are, right? Even when you're thinking about winning the lottery, you start imagining like what I would buy, and so it's hard to separate your financial investment and what's necessary for your survival, pursuing something that might happen, right?
Right, definitely.
Yeah. So for folks who love somebody, let's start with somebody in your life, like. It was very hard. In the same way it was hard to hide my dad's cigarettes. Like he would get very angry if he took his cigarettes. Right. If we said anything about his gambling, like we almost felt like we had to keep helping him. Like I lent him $2,000 when it was the first time I ever had a credit card. I took $2,000 in credit out to give him $2,000 to chase the money he had lost.
Right.
Like we feel like they convince us too in a way, don't they?
Right. They really enlist the other people in their lives, and there's this desperation to keep winning, and they think they're going to win and pay back everything that they borrowed. So when the loved ones actually see it, because a lot of times it's very hard to recognize, but if they actually see it for what it is, we really recommend that they get support for themselves through a group like Gam-Anon. And it's a lot like Al-Anon, but it's for loved ones of gamblers. At Nicasa, we even have what's called an Affected Others group. So it's once a month, and it is led by a counselor, but it gives a lot of information, skill building, and support to those loved ones of people with gambling concerns.
What I think I want to drive home for folks, oddly enough, is there, because money is such a stressor, and because it's so baked into everything that you need. Right. So if your loved one is losing the money that you need for your survival, it's very difficult to separate those. And so as a child of a gambler, maybe it's a little bit easier for me to have that distance, because my dad has been dead for 24 years. My mom is still angry.
Right. Yeah.
So I just want people to know the depths of the anger, because they feel like it's a cheating.
Right. It's actually often mistaken for infidelity.
Yes.
Because there is lying, and there's just this change in behavior, and weird stuff's happening with the money, and such a sense of betrayal when it really comes to light. So it feels very much like infidelity, and then those financial repercussions can just last so long.
And I think one of the big things with any form of addiction is the manipulation that is felt by the family and the friends and the close ones. So that's where the anger and resentment comes from.
Right.
Because you get to a place, especially near those end stages, where, I had a lot of issues in my family where they will tell me something and I'm like, I can't believe you think I believe this. I cannot believe you think I believe that you lost $5,000 in cash. And you have no idea what I cannot believe you believe I believe that.
Right.
And that's where I think a lot of the resentment and the anger comes from.
Right. And that can be hard, but we know over time, as people do try to heal, especially if that person with the gambling concern actually starts working on things, is to try to separate out the behavior from the person.
Yes.
Because the behavior, we say addiction defends itself. And one of the ways it defends itself is by all of these rationalizations and sometimes manipulating people and circumstances around them. That's part of the behavior. So if we can start teasing that out, it can really help you to love that person and then say, I'm not going to accept these behaviors, though.
Correct.
We are talking to our friends from the Way Back In, director of Way Back In, Anita Pindiur, joined us in studio. If you want to join us we're going to come back for the segment. I know.
Elizabeth is doing a wonderful job, but to Elizabeth's point, and to family groups are very important, and family support, because there is that anger and there is that frustration, and a lot of times you're the one left kind of holding all these pieces together, right? We've had clients who would come in and receive treatment, and we would take care of them, but the family was left holding all these pieces. They're like, wow, now we're being evicted out of our home.
Yes.
Now we have to find new homes.
We have bankruptcy. We have credit card histories to clean up. My dad took out credit cards in all our names.
So we have to clean everything up. There's people coming after. They're demanding money. There's now friends and family who are coming out of the woodworks like, oh, they loaned all this money, and and you're like, what? Why would you give him this money? And now they're like, I want to. So it's very intense. And so getting some help for yourself, getting some support for you is also very important. So we never want to forget those affected others.
Yes, I agree. Mommy, I'm thinking of you. I know that it was a heavy load to carry. We're going to continue our conversation with Anita Pindiur, Executive Director of Way Back In, and Elizabeth Thielen?
Yep.
You got Nicasa Director of Gambling Services, and Ken Mejia-Beal, the Treasurer for Youth Outlook. Go to youth-outlook.org to learn more about the work that he does, as well as the newly elected Midwest Chapter Chair of the Victory Fund here in the Midwest. More in a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKW 1150.
When it comes to banking, you need a bank you can trust. A bank with a rock-solid reputation and the highest integrity. A bank that gives you the attention and respect you deserve.
ABOC first opened its doors in downtown Chicago in 1922, and we've made our name on deep expertise, best-in-class service, and a strong commitment to our customers. We know the Chicago business market inside and out and can help you craft the perfect banking solution, no matter what type of business you're in.
And if you're looking for a banking partner for your labor union, we can bring the type of expertise that only comes from a bank that was founded by labor unions and still has union employees and shareholders to this day.
Whether you need a deposit account, loan, trust services, or investment management, ABOC has you covered. Let's work together to manage your finances today while planning for a better tomorrow. ABOC, a bank built on a strong foundation.
Visit aboc.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. President Trump's predicting the U.S. will be finished with the Iran war in 2 to 3 weeks, but he tells reporters securing the Strait of Hormuz is not part of what he's after.
Problem with the Strait, a guy can take a mine, drop it in the water, and say, oh, it's unsafe. It's not like you're taking out an army or you're taking out a country, or they can drop it. Or you can take a machine gun from the shore and shoot a few bullets at a ship, or maybe an over-the-shoulder missile, small missiles. That's not for us. That'll be for France. That'll be for whoever's using the strait. But I think when we leave, probably that's all cleared up.
Earlier in the day, Trump lashed out at U.S. allies for not doing more to support U.S. war efforts. Meantime, oil prices eased today, Brent crude settling just under $104 per barrel. And stocks surged, the Dow up more than 1,100 points, the S&P 2.9%, the Nasdaq 3.8%. President Trump has signed an executive order to create a nationwide list of verified eligible voters. It also seeks to bar the Postal Service from sending absentee ballots to those not on each state's approved list. In Florida, Tiger Woods has pleaded not guilty to DUI. A sheriff's report said he had opioids in his pocket after rolling his car last week. And Haya Panjwani reports a couple of Army helicopter crews are in some trouble.
The crews of 2 AH-64 Apache helicopters that hovered next to Kid Rock's swimming pool while he clapped and saluted have been suspended from flying pending an Army investigation of their actions. The entertainer is an outspoken supporter of President Donald Trump. He posted videos of the helicopters on social media over the weekend. One post included a caption from Kid Rock disparaging Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom. Kid Rock told WKRN-TV that it's not unusual for helicopters from nearby Fort Campbell to fly near his home. He says the fact that they stopped to hover near his house was really cool. I'm Haya Panjwani.
This is AP News. College basketball's March Madness is coming to a climax. Gethin Coolbaugh reports the women's Final Four set last night.
Top seeds Texas and South Carolina are headed back to the women's Final Four. Joyce Edwards had 24 points and 12 rebounds to help the Gamecocks best third-seeded TCU 78-52 in the Elite Eight.
Coach always said the Elite Eight is going to be one of the hardest games in the tournament. But, I mean, it just shows us our resilience.
Madison Booker scored 19, and the Longhorns routed second-seeded Michigan 77-41. South Carolina will face top overall seed UConn next Friday in a title game rematch. UConn beat Notre Dame 70-52 to secure its 25th women's Final Four appearance. Texas will play fellow top seed UCLA. The UCLA women rallying past Duke 70-58. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
The semifinal games are set for Friday night. The men's semifinals are Saturday. There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low temperature of 37 degrees and northeast winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. On Wednesday, we'll see a chance of showers with a high temperature of 46 degrees and winds out of the northeast at 15 to 30. Thursday, scattered showers and storms with a high temperature of 74 and gusty south winds up to 40 miles an hour. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 47.
WCPT replay.
This is exactly where we are. This is how we got here because Joe Biden would not play that game. And, you know, Obama did not play that game. We certainly didn't give them the clown show that Trump does. This is why I keep trying to tell people, like, it's not the show. Mm-hmm. Don't take the rage bait. Don't be part of the show. This is how he got elected again. These people want him in there because he makes them money. He gives them fame. Everybody's paying attention right now. They didn't pay attention when Biden was in office, and he was getting so much done. But they didn't pay attention because it wasn't a clown show. there wasn't the opportunity for them to, cover him and put on a little show of standing up to him for a second and then become famous and write a book.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home. Hello to our friends joining us in Minneapolis, St. Paul on KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. And joining us, of course, 1150 AM KKNW in Seattle, Washington on WCPT 820 Chicago right here. Joining me in studio, guest co-host Ken Mejia-Beal. It's been kind of a wild ride today already. We've talked about sinkholes and...
sinkholes, destruction, cross-dressing. It's been a fun day.
It's been a lot of things going on. Of course, we want to thank our sponsors for making all these conversations possible. We want to thank our friends at Are You Really Winning? You can go to areyourreallywinning.com to learn more about the great work they do to help folks who are struggling with a gambling addiction. We know that March is Gambling Awareness Month. We also want to thank our... by the way, it's also the way back in, and you can call 1-800-GAMBLER if you or someone you know is struggling with a gambling addiction. We want to thank our friends at Minocqua Brewing Company. Go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com. We will be in Madison tomorrow in the tap room. There might be seances and voodoo dolls. I'm just saying it's April 1st. Anything can happen tomorrow. Thank you to our friends at Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to PrideCoffeeRoasters.com and put your order in for the best single origin roasted to order beans you will ever have. So go to PrideCoffeeRoasters.com. We also want to thank our friends at Source Solar. Go to source.solar and make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. Again, that's source.solar. And thank you to our friends at Anderson's Candy Shop. If you put Patty V at the checkout on your online order, you'll get $5 off. That's PATTYV at AndersonsCandyShop.com. Or if you're in the store in Barrington or in Richmond, you can say Patty V. You have to spell it out. It's all good. So thank you so much to our friends at Anderson's Candy Shop. Joining us in studio are our friends from Are You Really Winning and The Way Back In. Joining us is Anita Pindiur, the executive director of Way Back In, and Elizabeth Thielen, Nicasa Director of Gambling Services. And we've been talking about March is Gambling Awareness Month, and it does kind of line up well with March Madness. Go Illini. ILL. INI. All right, anyway. But it's become so easy to gamble. We were talking about my dad in the last hour. He was on the ships. He used to go to the racetrack. He'd play poker till 5, 6 till the sun came up. Now it's just on your phone.
Yeah, it's 24/7. You don't have to go looking for it. It comes to you.
Yes.
And it's a big concern with young people because they're getting ads, they're getting promos, they're getting offers, and a lot of parents, this is not on their radar. And we got kids who are plowing through tens of thousands of dollars that they don't even have on some of these betting platforms. So it's something where prevention could go a long way.
Well, and that's really why this is such a big part of mental health.
Yes.
And talking about the aspect of it and how our brains work and how powerful our brains are. And telling that story, if I just one more round, just one more spin of the wheel, one more horse. So if you love somebody who is dealing with this, what are some of the most, what's the best sort of route to take to address this?
Well, I would say one, really getting help for yourself, as we said before, so that you can learn more about it, so that you can understand the difference between the disorder and the person, and learn how to set healthy boundaries around money, how to protect your money. And you might have a loved one who needs something, not paying for that, not giving them money for that, but maybe actually confirming, is your dog actually sick? Then I can pay the vet directly, but I'm not going to give you the money for it.
Yeah.
Protecting your own finances and theirs, like instituting credit freezes so that at least the damage is only their earned money and not money that they haven't earned yet, and that they're not able to access your credit. So there's a lot of strategies through a group like Gamanon, or coming into services and connecting with an agency like the Way Back In or Nicasa to get some information and support, because it's complex. Know that, you are affected just as much as the person with the gambling concern, sometimes even more, because you don't have that false hope of that next win's going to make everything better. You know it's not, right? And so it can be really hard to maintain hope.
And that's where sometimes the anger and the frustration comes in. But so like Nicasa, way back in, we are able, through the support of the state of Illinois and the Illinois Council on Problem Gambling, to provide financial counseling as well. And that is done through professionals who really understand that aspect of it. So it's really kind of part of, family affected individuals, or the person themselves can come into treatment and then receive not just mental health treatment or for gambling use disorders, but also some of that financial treatment.
And you've also found a way to encourage folks to express themselves artistically. Tell us about the contest.
Yeah, so we really want to make sure that, when we're saying like, hey, maybe we need to limit or maybe stop gambling, or, wherever you are on that recovery journey, we want to give you something back. And so we're saying, hey, why don't we allow you to express yourself through the arts? And this year, not only is it visual art, but it's also literary art. So anything you consider a song, a poem, written, spoken word, you can do it. We will consider that art. It's till midnight tonight, so you can go to areyoureallywinning.com, submit it before midnight tonight, and we have the whole entire competition open. There's awards, and then we honor those people who will be receiving the awards at the conference at the Illinois Council on Problem Gambling Conference in June 4th and 5th this year. And that's also a great way to learn more about disorder yourself and kind of affected individuals.
Right, and people can actually just learn about gambling disorder and gambling recovery in order to create an impactful art piece. One of our volunteers that submitted something last year that I was so excited about really had to learn about how does this affect people, and she wrote a song that is so incredible that I actually will send to you, because it's public domain. It was so good that we were like, we've got to get this recorded, and we brought her to a recording studio in Chicago, and it's beautiful, written by a 15-year-old, sung by the same young lady when she was 16, and it's incredible. So, whatever medium somebody is passionate about, depict that journey from addiction to recovery, and you could have a good chance of winning a nice award.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you've been journaling about it, or you've sketched something out, or you've, as you mentioned, written the lyrics or a poem, where can folks submit something?
areyoureallywinning.com, and just click on the button for the art competition.
Yeah, because it's hard to process when you're in it, and so, and maybe tonight you don't have something ready by midnight. This is something to think about, like to put that energy somewhere to express yourself. Don't you think?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So for folks who are in it, right? It's kind of easy for us, and even for me. I'm almost 30 years removed from when my dad was really in it. And I mentioned in the last hour, my dad came to me. I was in grad school. I had never had a credit card. And he asked me to open a credit card to take out a line of credit to give him $2,000. And you were just talking about, people will give you things. He was very honest. He's like, I'm trying to chase this money I lost. And I think because he had taken me to the racetrack since I was 4 years old, I'm like, oh yeah. Right. It's just because it's just kind of like, this is who they are. Right. And we sort of write that off as like, sure, I'll just give him help. Right. Not realizing we're contributing to something that's very harmful for him and for us.
Right. Absolutely. And so I'm a person in long-term recovery myself. And so to speak to those people who might be out there and they're gambling and they don't know, why do I keep doing it this way? What's wrong with me? My message to you is there's nothing wrong with you. No. There's a very complicated set of circumstances that can lead to that. I had a parent with alcoholism. I don't drink. I've never used a drug. So I was very careful about addiction, or so I thought. Gambling is something that people don't even really recognize as risky, and it can get anybody. So if somebody like me with a master's degree in clinical psychology who had a parent with alcoholism still fell into it, anybody can. And it's never too late to get help. 1-800-GAMBLER, areyoureallywinning.com will get people to care. And I will also say it's never too early. If you're just getting started gambling, it's never too early to connect with a professional and learn, what is this supposed to look like? Because some people can do this within limits and have control, but you kind of don't do that if you don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And I will say, I do not have a gambling addiction per se, but I went to Vegas my first time, and I could not leave. I could not leave. The lights, the oxygen, I could not leave. And the waitress came over to give me alcohol, and I was like, no, this is serious. Like, I was in the zone. And that's when I realized I can't gamble. It's not for me. And I'm okay with that.
Right.
I did not lose a lot that night because it was my first time and my last time.
Right.
I played the slots, but I knew this is not normal behavior. This is not who I am. Not an impulsive person, and I am ready to withdraw everything I have.
Oh boy.
I want to, because of the lights and the sounds and it was I'm talking about it and sweating. So I could recognize right away, this is probably not good for me. This is not good for me.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Hey, this does not seem normal.
Yeah, this is not my normal. Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of part of those conversations. There's also a great app now available on areyoureallywinning.com, the Vive app. And that can really kind of lead in that, some people are choosing, they're like, this is it, I'm done. I'm going to use this. But some people want to just reduce. Some people just want to kind of see where they are, maybe just kind of limit and kind of set in some guidelines. That is really what's there for, to sort of explore and see and learn about what does healthy gambling look like.
Right.
And what does healthy gambling look like? Having limits is part of it?
Setting limits. So setting dollar limits is important. And like, let's say it's $500, $200, whatever it is. When it's gone, it's gone. Like, even if it's gone in 5 minutes,
it's gone.
Then if it's gone, then you're gone. And also setting time limits. And when am I going to gamble and when am I not going to gamble? And with the 24/7 nature of gambling now, that's more important now than ever. So maybe not at work, maybe not when I'm interacting with my kids, maybe when I'm not not when I'm at church or whatever. What are your limits around this, and not letting it interfere with the other things that you enjoy and that are important to you, not hiding it, what we said, not lying to other people about it, and for sure, not using money that you can't afford to lose. It is supposed to be a form of recreation, and all recreation comes at a cost, right? Yeah. Even on a major sports book, on one of their responsible gambling pages, it says, gambling is not a good way to make money. You could win, but you probably won't. So if you go into the mindset of, it would be really cool to win, I probably won't, but that's what I'm going to try to do, that is a healthier mindset than this is a lock. Like, everybody thinks, I got the lock. No, you don't have the lock.
No one has
right? Nobody has. Right?
Nobody has it.
And I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this. Again, as I've said, as the daughter of a gambling addict, this isn't an attack. I mean, I think that we worry about attack, if making someone feel like they're being attacked, and the person who is going through it, it's part of their identity now. Like, there's shame involved in that. So it's a very delicate area, isn't it?
Yeah, and when you talk about identity, a lot of young people are getting this identity as a gambler, right, or as the sports bettor, and it's even harder for them to then, if they are recognizing harm is happening, to then in their peer group, and they feel like everybody around them is doing it, they're watching sports, and they all got money on the line, it's hard for them to step back. So to be able to recognize, yes, I did this, yes, I've gotten involved, to a big extent, I am more than this. I'm taking a step back for now. Like, I just need to take a break right now.
Take a break, everybody. So Elizabeth Thielen, the Senior Director at Nicasa Behavioral Services. We encourage folks to reach out. You can go to areyoureallywinning.com. We want to thank Anita Pindiur, the Executive Director, way back in. The art contest is closing tonight at midnight. And we've had listeners. We've been talking about this. I know on the weekends we also have conversations about this. So if you've got it ready to go, tonight's the deadline. And we'll have more conversations, of course, in the weeks and months to come.
If you miss it tonight, we'll all be open again next year in January.
Exactly.
So it's never too late.
And that's the thing all around. It's never too late. It's never too early to get some help. And again, 1-800-GAMBLER. You can call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. And thank you both so much for coming in studio. Safe travels.
Thank you.
On the road. And I will see you again very soon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's continue our conversation in a moment on Driving It Home with guest co-host Ken Mejia-Beal in studio with me. Phone lines are open, 773-763-9278. Text line 2.
There are 1,000 ways to say it.
Nope. Knock it off. Shut it down. Dream on. No dice. Give it a rest. Not a chance.
Or just
all text. You focus on the road.
As a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver. Choose one.
A message from CTIA.
These are real stories of speech-language pathologists and the people they helped. He was in his 30s.
55 and far from home.
15 years old with multiple disabilities.
It was a traumatic brain injury.
He's bilingual but lost his English after the stroke.
Several surgeries led to his swallowing disorder.
His goal was to get back to work.
I used French during therapy.
Others almost gave up on the goal of him eating.
Oh, he was dedicated.
Together, we built his life back.
Social interaction was the key to helping him.
And he made it back to work.
When he ate, his friends cheered.
Everyone has the right to communicate.
And later, he was able to travel across the world to his family.
Are you or someone you know experiencing a speech, language, or swallowing disorder? An ASHA-certified speech-language pathologist can help. Visit us at asha.org/public.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. So check before you jet. Avoid delays at TSA security checkpoints by making sure you have an acceptable form of ID. That means a real ID, passport, or other acceptable forms of identification.
Visit tsa.gov/ID to check the full list of acceptable IDs. Avoid travel delays by checking ID requirements, and you're good to go.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home. Ken Mejia-Beal joins me in studio.
Hello.
We started the show with a wide variety of topics, including sinkholes and
sinkholes and
bridges
floods and bridges.
By the way, we were corrected by both the operations manager here and people texting in that the Chicago flood happened on April 13th, 1992.
Which was a Monday.
I thought I was on the road. Oh, I guess I just heard about it. I felt like I was in the car. I had a 1982 Volkswagen Rabbit GTI.
Okay, I don't even know what this means.
It was my car.
Okay.
It was my car, and so I often remember myself being on the road, hearing different stories, and I don't know why I would have been on the road because it wasn't our spring break, April 13th. I felt like I was in Chicago when that happened, but apparently I was not. Unless, you know what?
I mean,
maybe it was Easter weekend, and I was going back after.
Possibility. I mean, it's a Monday. It could have been Easter.
It's over 30 years ago.
Playing hooky. Who knows what you were doing 30 years ago? I don't know.
There was a Chicago flood. That there were tunnels that flooded throughout the Chicago, like this network of tunnels that sort of caused a lot of damage. Well, the reason we were talking about that was sort of this erratic weather we're having. Today, it went from about 73 degrees, and it's going to drop down to the 30s tonight.
Well, it's climate change. It is real.
It's aggressive.
It is aggressive. It is not good.
No.
It is going to make allergy season horrible because the constant heating and cooling is not going to be doing great for folks like myself.
Same. I had a migraine on Thursday, I think in part. Was it Friday? I had a migraine last weekend. I think it's in part because of there was a massive amount of rain. It was Friday morning because Thursday, remember we had like that just vicious rain.
Yes.
And then it's warm, it's cold, so it's been exhausting.
You know, I will say this though. I think that when climate change, I don't know the right word for it, but when we first started talking about climate change, there were a lot of people who did not see it. I am finding few and further between people who do not see it. Now the argument is it's not so bad, and we can argue about that, but at least they can see that the pattern has changed. Because I know, about 10 years ago, it was like 50-50. It felt like 50% of the country was like, everything's fine. But now it's more like, oh, there's blizzards in New Jersey. Got it. Like, oh, it's happening.
It's aggressive. Someone just texted in that it was a Friday when that flood happened in downtown Chicago, but I thought we looked it up that it was a Monday.
Well, according to Mr. Google, April 13th, 1992.
I know.
Was a Monday. And that is when, hold on, I'm going to read it. The 1992 flood in downtown Chicago, often referred to as the Great Chicago Flood or the Great Chicago Leak, occurred on Monday, April 13th, 1992. I couldn't make this up because I have no idea what it is.
Can we just live in the fact that it could either be a flood or a leak? Because
yes.
Those are two wildly different things.
I am telling you exactly what it says right there in the Google. But I don't know why it says that.
A leak is kind of like, oh, we should probably do something about that. A flood is like, save yourself!
Well, or
yes,
if there is a leak in the tunnel system.
Yes. Things seem scary when there's, yes.
Yeah.
What's that noise?
It's like, oh, it's a leak in our tunnels. Yeah. Oh, got it.
It's not a good thing.
No, it's really bad. Why are we laughing?
I don't know. Because it's been 30 years.
It's been 30 years.
It's been more than 30 years.
People are okay.
34 years to be exact. Is that right? Yeah, 34 years.
Jeez.
I know. Well, because it feels like everything's accelerating now, and time is so nebulous. It's not like
it really is. I had a trivia night last month, and it was 80s night, and one of the questions was about Harry Hamlin.
Law and Order, L.A. Law. Thank you very much. And
yes.
also, oh yeah, go ahead.
L.A. Law,
yes.
L.A. Law, and
Clash of the Titans, I believe as well.
I heard. And this is not a joke. I heard there were a table in front of me of younger people because, everybody's welcome. So I think the oldest person at the table was probably 3. And no, they were all 21. That's all I know. And she goes, I think my mom used to watch it. I think he was on that the La Law. And I was just like,
Jimmy Smits, Corbin Burnson.
It was La Law, and I will never be the same again.
La Law. La Law. If I may recommend a very cheesy movie, The Clash of the Titans, I think, really needs a reviewing. It's about the Greek gods and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember Medusa. My dad and I went to go see it at the Gulf Mill Theaters. Oh, my God. Maggie Smith was in it. Laurence Olivier played Zeus. I'm sorry.
I've never seen it.
Burgess Meredith. Ursula Andress played Aphrodite. Just saying.
It sounds like a lot of great people in that
This
movie.
Amazing cast. Well, it's funny because the special effects were like sort of part claymation. And
I think I've seen clips of it here and there.
It was.
Can I just, on another note,
yes,
not connected to anything.
I would love this.
I'm minding my own business, just trying to live my life in this country. I just found out that Angela Lansbury had a workout video.
I need to see this.
Did you know this?
I did not know that.
It's called Positive something. I don't know, but it stunned me. Angela Lansbury.
It came up. It was as soon as I type in work. Positive moves.
Positive moves. Yes.
I'm going to show you how to prepare every morning by doing some gentle stretches. You don't need any special equipment or any sort of tricky outfit.
It was the craziest. It kind of hit me over that because I thought it was a joke. It was not a joke. It is a real thing.
Get it, Angela. 80s workout video.
Yeah.
I have to say, the thing that was, and you can look at all of the Golden Girls images, there was something that women got sucked into their hair. Like the haircuts aged everybody.
Well, because I think, and this is just someone looking at it from an outside perspective, I think during that time, I think so many women were told you cannot have long hair.
To be taken seriously? Or?
Yeah, and then to be an older woman, you have to have short hair. Like, I don't think that's real. I think you should be able to do whatever you want. I look at someone like, and I know I'm going to get a lot of but they've had plastic surgery. Trust me, the women in the 80s had plastic surgery too. But I'm digressing. You look at a Jennifer Lopez, you look at a Demi Moore, They have long hair, and it seems age appropriate. I hate the term age appropriate though, because who cares?
All bets are off. Yeah.
But I think that short hair thing is a little bit silly. For some people, you have people like Halle Berry who have had short hair forever, and it works.
Yes.
Not everyone should have short hair.
No. The advice and exercise in this video are intended to be used only in conjunction with the advice of your own personal physician. I'm sorry, I'm reading the warning label for the Angela.
Oh, for the Angela. Because
how aggressive can this possibly be?
Because goodness forbid.
I almost want to get the audio for this during the next break.
Well,
all right.
You won't. I mean, it's going to shock you what else I stumbled on when I stumbled on that. Estelle Getty.
No.
Young at heart. Jazzercise. I'm not making this up.
I believe you. There's no reason to doubt you whatsoever.
This is why I need to go to bed at a certain time, because this is what happens when Ken Mejia-Beal stays up after 9:30. I'm YouTubing Angela Lansbury and Estelle Getty's workout videos.
Are we going into her house? What is happening in this video? It must be her home. What a lovely home. The graphics.
You're watching it now, aren't you?
I'm
it's
obsessed.
the best thing ever.
Oh, people are calling in. Maybe they have their favorite workout video. Let's take a break here. When we come back, I'm going to see what outfits outfits Ken rates for Kristi Noem's husband's kink.
10s across the board, baby.
Have you seen what? I mean, like, I can't say the word. There's not another word for the female body parts. He's wearing a
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs.
Without
Doubtfire
clothing.
Cross-eyed boobs, I guess is the best way.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, he's got a lazy boob.
Yeah.
Let's take a break here. Continue the conversation when we come back on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Thank you all for being here. The phone lines are open. You're welcome to join the conversation anytime.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low temperature of 37 degrees and northeast winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. On Wednesday, we'll see a chance of showers with a high temperature of 46 degrees and winds out of the northeast at 15 to 30. Thursday, scattered showers and storms with a high temperature of 74 and gusty south winds up to 40 miles an hour. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 46.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Typical tax, free edition only, roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. How this is taxes.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
A tree can be a warrior, battling global challenges with greater courage. A tree can be a solution, cleaning our air, supporting our communities, and protecting our wildlife. A tree can be noble, growing hope in every corner of the world. That's why now is the time for trees. Millions of trees. Join our planting movement at arborday.org.
Loved one owns a gun, and you're concerned about their behavior. You're worried they might harm themselves or others. You wish more than anything you could hit pause on this situation. In Illinois, a firearm restraining order does just that. In extreme cases, this order temporarily prevents a person in crisis from having a firearm, giving them time to heal before they do something dangerous. Learn more at illinois.gov/pause to heal. Brought to you by the Illinois Department of Public Health, Brady and the Ad Council.
You're listening to WCPT 820, because facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk and
Or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation with Ken Mejia-Beal as I take in this Angela Lansbury positive moves a full fitness video. She's in a towel, moisturizing herself. I appreciate that Angela Lansbury's like, you know the people on social media that do sort of the, straight to camera with mostly guys with no shirt on. Like, when did that start? Like, I guess people comment on, have you seen these?
Yeah, it's like,
they look, they are shirtless, obviously.
It is like thirst trapping without thirst trapping.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's like, I'm going to talk to you about how to improve your financial standings, and you're in no shirt.
Right.
I don't understand.
I think because it draws comments,
but
which
I'm
drives
still going
traffic.
to watch it for the full 10 minutes.
I'm in. But I
don't understand it, but I'm watching.
She is dressed now. She looks like she's in a cult. She's got like this like blue sort of unitard thing.
when I say everyone should check out the Angela Lansbury workout video, it was the best thing that I have fallen into on YouTube this year. I didn't know it existed. I didn't know I needed it.
I'm exercising right now with Angela, by the way.
It's amazing. The commentary it kind of feels like yoga, but it also feels like you're in nursery school. And it's hard to describe.
Oh,
She's great.
Oh, she's dropping down. Is she gonna touch her toes?
She is.
Okay.
I know exactly what part you're on.
Oh my goodness. Oh, we're doing a little sun salutation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then.
Angela Lansbury's workout video. Watch it.
I'm saying Ken Mejia-Beal joins me in studio, guest co-hosting. He's the treasurer for Youth Outlook at youth-outlook.org to learn about the great work they do and support them. He's also the newly elected chair for the Midwest chapter of the Victory Fund, electing LGBTQ plus candidates in the area, all over the Midwest.
All over the Midwest.
And thank you for the work that you do.
I will appreciate that, but I have to take this moment to thank so many of the openly LGBTQ candidates that ran, some of whom did not win, and they put their stories out there and they put their lives out there, and I want to thank them because it's a lot of hard work.
It's in you put yourself, you basically fillet yourself.
You do.
You open yourself up, your life, the people in your life, your family, your loved ones. So thank you to the candidates and their loved ones.
Yeah,
for
it's hard.
Supporting
it's
them.
very hard.
I will always be grateful for my husband. He was so mad that I didn't run again, that I have no plans.
I think it's good to have a spouse that's like, you can do it.
Yeah.
Because mine was like, you can do it. We are divorcing, but you can do it.
There was a point where
I am out.
There was a point where I thought he was going to divorce me a couple of years ago when I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to run again. My mouth is too big. Roosevelt joins us on the line. Hi, Roosevelt. You're on with me and Ken Mejia-Beal. What's on your mind, my friend?
Ken and Patti.
Hello,
Roosevelt,
sir.
Hello.
You know what? When I said Ken and Patti, it reminded me of the old 60s commercials on those dolls, like Barbies and that kind of stuff. I guess because of the Ken.
It happens.
What? Hey, Roosevelt, do you want to settle in for this conversation? Well, you're moving around a little bit there. What's going on? Get us all up and...
To be honest with you, I'm making steak and I'm eating a piece of steak. I'm sorry. I'm testing here.
You're testing my hearing abilities because I have what's that?
So here's what I want to say. Tonight there's supposed to be a big game, Mexico against Belgium. Lady B just told me it's Belgium. It's supposed to be a big game because I've been out all day at the stores. And I saw a lot of jerseys, Mexican jerseys, so I just wanted to inform people about that. But you guys were talking about old movies and all these old actors, and it came to mind a movie called The Long Ship Does anybody remember that one? You guys are too young to remember that. Richard Woodmark and Sidney Poitier in color. The colors are beautiful. And it's about the Vikings. They're in search of this gigantic gold bell. Does anybody remember that?
I do not.
No, I'm not familiar
sorry,
with this one.
Roosevelt.
Yes, sorry.
Maybe Jim or somebody, because it's a fantastic movie. And I think it's from the 50s or maybe the 60s. But it's Richard Whitmark and Sidney Poitier. Oh, man, that left an impression on me. You know why? Because you guys were talking about claymation and all that. Mm-hmm. And you see all this, it's like the old Greek mythology type of thing where the gods and all this stuff. Very good movie. I highly recommend it. But the whole idea is to go in search of this gigantic bell, the long ship.
Is a 1964 film shot in Technorama, directed by Jack Cardiff, starring Richard Widmark, Sidney Poitier, Russ Tamblyn, and Rosanna Schaffino, something like that. I apologize.
You guys should watch that movie because during that time, the big deal was, Technicolor, and what's the other one?
Panoramic view.
Yeah,
Technicolor and all the things, yes.
Panoramic.
Roosevelt, I'm going to have to wait until you get to a more secure location to have this conversation because it's a lot auditorially going on, I'll just tell you.
Okay. All right, well, I just wanted to recommend the movie and talk about the Mexican big game. Oh, and also about Kid Rock and his...
oh, my God! Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Roosevelt. Do you know about this, Ken?
No.
So during the No Kings rallies in Tennessee, a U.S. Army helicopter did a flyby, but not even just a flyby, but Kid Rock apparently calls it the White House South, and they flew by his balcony so they could wave at him. Those pilots and the people in the helicopter have been suspended by the Army. Is that what you want to say, Roosevelt? Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to say. And, they were during Biden, they were making such a big deal of any little thing. And look how much it's spending. I believe they're up to, 39 trillion now?
100 million just on Trump's golf outings, by the way.
Hey, and I'm glad, did they put the stop to that ridiculous thing in that ballroom and all that White House thing?
A judge has put an injunction.
A judge has put an injunction in, yes.
There you go. That's what I want to hear. So it's ridiculous. He tore that up. I mean, those walls have been there since FDR, 1942, I believe. And he's tearing it all down. And this is what I said this morning on the Spanish station. He has no intentions of giving up the White House. Because if you're making all this stuff that's going to be constructed, it's going to take years.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yep.
So that's it, guys. Thank you. Thank you for taking me.
There's actually a website called Did Trump Golf Today? Donald Trump has golfed 103 days out of his 436 days since returning to office, totaling 23.6% of his presidency spent golfing. Estimated cost to taxpayers since returning to office, $144,200,000, Ken. I'm just saying. He didn't golf today, though.
Well, there are so many comments I could make, and none of them are appropriate.
144 million. Miss me all these MAGA turds who want to tell me about money and any other administration.
Yes.
No, the debt. We have lost money.
Obama gave homeless people medicine. That's how they, it's like, God forbid that we all take care of each other, but let Trump go golfing.
Yes.
Got
140. Well, and the thing with the website doesn't actually address as well is the fact that a lot of that money goes to his resorts because he makes them stay at his Mar-a-Lago resort.
This is all a scam, and it's all a scheme. And this is a well orchestrated. This is one of the most well orchestrated snake oil scams.
Yeah.
In the history of snake oil scams.
Is it well orchestrated, or does it take really gullible idiots to encourage it and embolden it?
Both. I think any good scam as I've learned from watching a lot of the Madoff documentaries, involves two components. Really gullible people that are not that bright, and really smart people that know how to keep it moving. I am not saying Trump is the one that knows how to keep it moving. But what I am saying is someone in that administration knows how to keep this moving. And the gullible people will just, that's just going to happen. But any good scam has those two components.
56 trips to West Palm Beach, Florida since 2025. 56 trips. And that includes all, that's the Air Force One, that's all the staff, the crew, the Secret Service, having to pay for rooms at Mar-a-Lago. It's just insane. It's
a nightmare. It is a living, breathing nightmare.
He's made 8 trips to Bedminster, New Jersey, at a cost of $1.1 million.
Is that
each
another
trip.
golf course?
That's another property of his course.
I don't follow golf courses.
And he has another one in Doral, Florida. Each trip costs 5 trips cost 2.7 million trips. Of course, his regular trips to Mar-a-Lago, every trip costs $3.4 million. And these people want to keep giving money to the war, to ICE agents who are dumb and poorly trained and aggressive. And I'm going to say it every freaking time I talk about them. I don't care.
Because no decent human being would take that kind of job. And I know that there are people out there who are going to say, well, depending on the circumstance, there is no amount of money that will cause me to compromise who I am at my core.
Right.
For $1. I do not have it in me. Now, have I done things that I don't want to for $1? Sure. Are they compromising my morality? Sure. But are they compromising my morality in a way that jeopardizes the integrity of the nation and also jeopardizes my fellow American citizens? Absolutely not.
Right.
And there's the line.
Got to draw it somewhere, folks. And that's where we draw ours. Let's take a break here. Continue our conversation with Ken Mejia-Beal, treasurer for Youth Outlook. Go to youth-outlook.org and learn more about the work they do. We'll take a break here on WCPT 820, KKNW 1150, and KTNF AM 950. We're so glad you're here. You can call us if you want, 773-763-9278. That's the same number you can text us to as well.
Dive deeper into the heart of the news and stories at WCPT 820 and across the Midwest by checking out our website, heartlandsignal.com.
It's the coverage I can count on every time.
For the latest news updates, in-depth analysis, compelling stories, comprehensive election coverage, live streams, and thought-provoking opinions, head to heartlandsignal.com.
When I need to know, they're there.
They keep me informed and updated wherever I am.
Stay informed with WCPT 820, your go-to source for where facts matter.
Is credit card or other debt making it difficult to pay your rent or mortgage? Home insecurity is often the unintended consequence of an inability to pay mounting credit card debt, student loans, or medical debt. But by working with a nonprofit credit counselor, you can avoid or reduce the risk of eviction or foreclosure while tackling debt for good. For more information about how nonprofit credit counseling can help, visit nfcc.org. Made possible in part by the nonprofit Wells Fargo Foundation.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
I think my biggest challenge was getting through to him to understand that love is real and you have goals in mind, you have things that want to happen, and I want to help you get there.
Sometimes people tend to shy away from wanting to adopt teenagers because they feel like they've lost so much, but there's still so much to gain.
Just knowing that there's just that other person that cares and loves me out there, it feels great. And they've done so much for me, and I can only be appreciative every single day for just having them in my life.
I think it's been the best decision because I gained a son, and he's the best son ever. If I was down and out, he'd be there.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt U.S. Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
All right, listeners, if you're going to buy Easter candy this year, listen up. You have got to get marshmallow eggs from Anderson's Candy Shop. These are seriously the best Easter chocolates you will find. Each marshmallow egg is handmade, light and fluffy, and dipped in Anderson's rich, thick chocolate. These are sweet, creamy, chocolate-covered miracles, and beyond that, they are made by some of the nicest people you will ever meet. Anderson's Candy Shop has locations in Richmond, Illinois, by the state line, and downtown Barrington. They're open 7 days a week and 24/7 online at andersonscandyshop.com. Plus, Anderson's also makes 9 flavors of cream-filled eggs, including peanut butter cream, maple nut, and marzipan. Oh, and crispy rice nests and solid chocolate bunnies, too. But don't take my word for it. Visit Anderson's today and sample for yourself. And use code PattyV to get $5 off. That's PATTYV online, because you can't use that online. PattyV to get $5 off your order. That's Anderson's Candy Shop and andersonscandyshop.com. Code PattyV for a discount, because for the best marshmallow eggs and Easter candy, nothing beats these treats.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now. All right, let's hit it. At 773.
Yes, let's hit it, Ken Mejia-Beal.
I got a lot to say.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Ken, we are heading into the home stretch.
The home stretch. I feel very energized today.
Is it the weather? Is it the being shot out of a cannon? Is it that you're not coming with for the voodoo and seance?
I know.
I think tap room.
I think it is not having to wear a heavy coat the last couple of days.
That's not true tonight, by the way. I'm sorry to say that. It got cold today. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not wearing a heavy coat though.
It's not unbearable.
Yeah, I'm not dying.
No, I agree.
Same. I'm okay.
Yes.
I'm okay.
Well, there was there were weeks in a row where Monday would be amazing, 70 degrees, and then snow on Wednesday.
You know, that's part of, I have friends that have moved here from Florida, and they moved here.
Oh boy.
And
how are they doing?
That first break, they were like, oh my God, it didn't even last. They said, you wait 1 second.
Yeah.
Said, this is called Fool Spring. This is not over. And 2 days later, it snowed again. And I saw her again 2 weeks ago. She goes, is it over yet? I was like, nope. It's not over till April 20th. 420.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it ends for me.
Oh my, yeah. 420 is a good day for it to end.
Yes.
I mean,
I know what I'm doing. Da-da-da.
Excellent. We got some texts coming in.
Yeah, let's read them.
Does Lindsay rack balls and micro pennies?
I saw that earlier.
What does that mean till the sun goes down in the pool hall still? Oh, they're using all kinds of language on these texts. For folks who don't know, Lady Lindsey Graham was photographed at Disney World with a fairy's wand. I'm not making that up. That's actually what she was carrying.
Yeah.
A bubble fairy wand.
She's a lady.
I'm just saying.
And she is a lady of prominence. Mm-hmm. And I do believe we should respect her authority.
Although Lady Lindsay was also in the Middle East during these negotiations with
Which
Iran.
is scary.
And I mean, wasn't Huckabee, that dude was there?
For no reason. This is just the worst administration ever.
You couldn't write this.
No.
I mean, that's how I felt during the first administration. Writers would not if you pitch this as a series or a movie, they'd be like, "This is ridiculous. Are you out of your mind?"
There was a rumor a couple of months ago. It was Trump is going to have Ann Coulter in the White House, and I said, "Good,
yeah,
good,
whatever."
I mean, at this point, yeah, sure. Why not?
What's so surreal though? Everyone's talking about how the podcast bros are turning on him. Who cares? I don't
I will tell you why that matters, though. A lot of our young men, and I talked about this a lot during the last election, a lot of our young men, especially liberal young, we're losing them to these podcasters because there is no... there's not a very strong masculine outlet in the Democratic Party anymore. I'm not going to go back and forth about it. I'm just telling you how a lot of young men feel.
What were the outlets before for young men in the Liberal Party?
So I'm not the one to talk to about this because
right. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not really the one to talk to. I'm not the one to really. I've been displaced by the Democratic Party, but it has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a man.
Right.
So my issue with the Democratic Party comes down to a lot of race issues. When it comes to gender, though, I do believe that there was a period within our party where if you were a man, you were just not supposed to run for anything. It wasn't your year. It wasn't your time. And I think the problem with that is
we need to uplift women.
Yes, which
color.
I think is great. I think is great. But we lost a lot of our men to these podcasters. And there's a really great documentary that I'm watching tonight, and I can't think of the name of it, but it's about a lot of the masculinity and social media and how we as men that are uplifting need to bring our own back into the fold. And that's something I definitely try to do because I do know a lot of young men. I mentor a lot of young men that will say things like, well, I'm not a Republican, but the Democrats are for the women. And it's like, well, and what's wrong with being for the women? But just because it's for women doesn't mean it's not for you.
Right. Interesting.
And that's the misconception. And I'll drive this home really quickly. There used to be a show on Nickelodeon called Clarissa Explains It All. The reason this is important, Clarissa Explains It All was the very first show with a lead as a woman who was Melissa Joan Hart back in the 90s that was actually made for everybody. She was a tomboy. She hung out in the trees and stuff. Nickelodeon was so afraid that it wouldn't work because they said boys will not watch the show. And it became one of their biggest shows. If you do it the right way,
yes,
it'll work. I don't know what along the way, the Democrats, we lost a lot, but I think we can get it back. But these podcasters actually noticing and talking about the issues with this administration does help our movement.
Okay. Because so many of them helped him get into office, they need a lot more work to do. Joe Rogan
absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's hit the Steve and Explains. We got about a minute here, Steve. What's on your mind, my friend?
Real quick, this thing about the masculinity issue, for me, I mean, we got to get ready here because right after Memorial Day, then probably right after Labor Day, we're going to have to be in the trenches. And the Democratic nominees have to come out. And for me, my money, in terms of the masculinity kind of chain, if you will, with young men, Kelly, shuttle commander and a fighter pilot.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Him, and then maybe Bashar as vice president, or maybe Pritzker as vice. That would be a dream ticket to me, especially in those terms of the young men, the masculinity quotient, if you will. Anyway, food for thought.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I'm not thinking about the presidential. I'm so locked in for the.
I'm still trying to get over the Kristi Noem cross-dressing thing. I'm not there yet.
Thanks, Steve. Have a good night, my friend. But I'm just not. I'm not necessarily there yet for the election. I do want to let folks remind you that while Ken Mejia-Beal will not be able to join us tomorrow, I will be broadcasting from the Madison Tap Room in Wisconsin. Again, folks want to join us. Our broadcast starts at 5:00 until 7, and we'll be having some a séance and some voodoo. It's April Fool's Day. We're just gonna have a little bit of fun. And don't forget today's show that is available wherever you listen to your podcasts, as well as all of the hosts here at WCPT. And we have a lot of candidates that we've interviewed. All those are available on our website, heartlandsignal.com. Ken, where would you like folks to find more about the work that you do before we go?
Victoryfund.org and youth-outlook.org. Please check out these sites. Please help us out. Donate if you can, volunteer if you can, and love if you can.
And support, and please, all the love.
Love.
And support our sponsors, areyoureallywinning.com, pridecoffeeroasters.com. We have our friends at andersonscandyshop.com, source.solar, Minocqua Brewing Company, all the sponsors. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Lady B.
If you're looking to purchase a home after a divorce, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Today, meet Charlie, field technician, income $100,000 a year, had an amicable divorce from his wife. Charlie wanted to